What's up, y'all? This is Darrell D, and welcome back to Darrell D TV. Today, I want to give you guys a blast from the past, a story that took place, um, back in the mid 2000s, actually. And I actually blogged about this a long time ago, but I actually wanted to make a video version for all of you who never saw the blog, never saw the actual write up. We're going to go back to 2007 and we're going to talk about the VH1 Hip Hop Honors Show. We're going to talk about Fab Five Freddy, and then we're going to talk about yours truly, Darrell D. Now, this is the MySpace days, okay? So I really, really loved MySpace, and once MySpace kind of went away, I didn't really mess with social media again until recently. And that would pretty much just consist of IG and YouTube, if you want to consider that social media as well. Anyway, the VH1 Hip Hop Honors, by this time, I believe they were on their third ceremony, if I'm not mistaken. Third or fourth, something like that. And I going to go back and forth from telling you my perspective here and then referring to the blog, the write-up that I actually did, because there's some things that I didn't write about that I'd like to tell you, so on and so forth. Okay, so I'm going to go back and forth. So just to get this started, let me say this, that I really thought that that first show and maybe a little bit of the second show, the second VH1 Hip Hop Honor Show, were like really, really strong. I thought it was fantastic. A lot of my hip hop heroes were being honored, and I thought it was, right on point. But as time went on, I thought that they skipped a lot of people, jumped over a lot of people, and started giving awards to people who, well, I should say prematurely. There were other, people, acts, artists that I thought should have been honored before some of the newer people that came out later. So long story short, the 70s, I thought the hardcore pillars from the 70s and everything that came out of the 70s into the early 80s, I thought they all should have been up first. Right? Just my personal feelings and how I feel. So here we go with year number 3 or 4, and back to MySpace. So Roxanne Shante had sent out this post, and the post basically said, and I'm paraphrasing, but she was basically saying how she wasn't invited to the hip hop honors, and she didn't know if she should even watch it. And she was asking, do you guys think I should watch it or not? So let me go to the first part of the actual blog post that I did, and I want to read that from that perspective, okay? So this is, let me see, where am I? Okay, so this was my response to Roxanne Shante. Now, I also, back in the MySpace days, you could send stuff to people even if you weren't, they weren't your MySpace friend, or vice versa. You could just send them stuff, like messages and posts and all that kind of stuff. So I sent this. I'm going to read you what I responded to Roxanne Shante with, and then know that I sent it out to a bunch of people, including Fab Five Freddy, because I knew that he was one of the producers on the show, so I wanted him to see that as well. This is what I wrote. I wrote, just can't believe it. I have my computer right down here, so that's It says, I just can't believe it. The VH1 Hip Hop Honor Show gets worse every year. Why do you ask? Well, it started out pretty good, honoring Grandmaster Flash, DJ Hollywood, Kool Herc, Sugar Hill Gang, Rocksteady Crew, Africa Bambaataa, Russell Simmons, etc. But at the same time, it was honoring some artists way too soon. People like Rakim, Beastie Boys, LL Cool J, KRS One, MC Lyte, etc. Don't get me wrong, I love all of these guys, but to honor them right now is way too soon. There are many, many people from the 1970s and 80s that have yet to be honored. People like the Cold Crush Brothers, Fearless Four, Jazzy J, Shy Rock, Disco Wiz, Busy Bee, Eddie Chiba, Latin Quarter, Fantastic Five, Lil Buck Starsky, P. DJ Jones, Sal Abertello, Star Wars, Jamal Shabazz, Treacherous 3, Spoonie G, Soul Sonic Force, Cosmic Force, Breakout Baron, New York City Breakers, Harry Chiffon, Martha Cooper, Electric Boogaloos, Alien Ness. I could go on and on. Why aren't they being honored? Even the VH1 Hip Hop Honors is all about ratings. And now, I can't believe I'm about to say this, now they want to honor people that should never in this lifetime be honored. Yes, I'm talking about Missy Elliott. Come on, y'all. Missy? Where did this chick even come from? She has nothing to do with hip-hop. Roxanne Shante asked if I thought she should go to the show this year, even though they keep passing her by. I told her she should not go, and for the record, I'm not watching. What do you guys think? Let me know. Peace and love, Darrell D. So that's what I wrote in response to Roxanne Shantae's post. And then I took Roxanne's her post and my response, and I just sent it out to a ton of people. And Fat Five Freddy responded. He responded on October 7th, 2007. If my memory serves me correct, it was the night before, or the day before, that the actual show was going to air. The honor show was going to air. This is what Freddy responded with. He says, hey, it's your lucky day, Darrell D. Now let me school you, son. Watch the format of the previous shows and you'll see that we draw from various periods of hip-hop culture. It's not just the 70s, 80s, or the 90s. It's about all of that. The span of greatness, creativity, originality, and innovation that hip-hop has spawned in music, art, dance, and film. It's about those that truly made an innovative, creative, and forceful impact on the game. It sounds like you're just hating after choking on a bunch of sour grapes. TV is about ratings. Remember, this is show business. After the initial hip-hop revolution in the 70s and early 80s here in New York City, the business took its place next to the show. If you're at the top of your game, no business, no show. We were all teens back then, adults now. I'm proud that we've come up with a method to get ratings. Keep the show moving and do what we do well with hip-hop honors. Entertain, educate, and enlighten. I laid bricks in the foundation of this culture and worked on the blueprints. What have you done? Yeah, I'm on the team, plus VH1's Hip Hop Honors together. Co-executive producer, to be specific. And my film, the first and best to date on hip-hop culture, gets honored as well this year. And I'm sitting next to Missy in the honoree box, a truly creative talent and the most successful female producer ever. And she's also a branch of the board. Ever-expanding and encompassing hip-hop tree. Wild Style put it all together. It's the reason the four elements exist as the foundation of all this. Wow Style put them all together in a neat little picture frame 25 years ago. The truly smart ones get that. The smart ones will also get it later tonight when the show airs and sees how big and diverse it all really is, and in many cases was. So put your own show together, and I wish you luck. I'll watch and see what you come up with. If you do it well, I'll give you props. If not, I won't watch. I never hate, I congratulate. I was there in the old school, my son. I've done it all. From the streets to the suites and back to the corners. And some of my best work will be shining bright on our fourth and best hip-hop honors show to date. Share this with your friends, Darrell, whether they watch or not. 1. Fab 5 Freddy. Okay, so let me just interject here and say that what I loved about the first Hip Hop Honor show is that it was truly, as I mentioned, the ones that they honored were like truly the core of hip hop. Not everybody, but on that one show was just the hardcore. I mean, to see, Herc and DJ Hollywood and these greats like that, it was just like, oh, this is just pure hardcore, the real deal Holyfield on who they're honoring, right? And everybody, and I'm going to get more into this in a second, but I got a lot of support. I got a lot of support from people, and the only criticism I got were people who kept bringing up ratings. And I was like, listen, I'm not talking about ratings. If this conversation was about ratings, you won. I wouldn't even argue the point because, yeah, that's what TV is for, ratings, right? That's not what I'm talking about. I was simply focusing on the authenticity of the actual honorees and who they were and what they did. Okay, so let me give you my response to what Freddy's response was. That's the problem. It's that kind of attitude that keeps us from giving credit where it is really due. The show started off incredible. Then slowly but surely, you got away from the real innovators, the real legends. Grandmaster Cash co-wrote the biggest rap song of all time, but instead of educating and enlightening, as you put it, we instead are going to hear about Teddy Riley in the New Jack Swing era. Whoopee-doo. Who in the 1990s can you honestly call a legend? What did Snoop Dogg, who was getting honored, what did Snoop Dogg do that was so great? Can you compare him to Grand Wizard Theodore? Can you compare A Tribe Called Quest to the L Brothers? Like I said, it's not that they shouldn't get any props, but first things first. The business, as you call it, is the reason why radio sucks today. It's the reason why we only see bitches and hoes in videos. When was the last time you heard Catch a Beat in a club? The public cannot be properly educated until you use the proper tools, or in this case, people. I love this culture. You have no doubt made big moves in hip-hop, and for that I thank you. From my heart, I thank you. But don't forget that this culture is being exploited by the powers that be, all for the almighty dollar. Let me tell you, I'm not from New York, and I wasn't around for the birth of this culture, but I was there all throughout the infancy stages. I saw it grow from a baby to a grown man, and the entire time I continued to educate the masses. I've been a DJ in this culture since 1986. Because I have such a love for this culture, I have studied the lives of the poor urban ghetto youth who created it. That includes you, Freddy. What have I done? I flew to Boston last year to attend the milestone ceremony, which you hosted, and I slept in my car. just so that I could meet you. You signed my Wild Style record, remember? I've traveled all over the country to meet and speak with many hip hop legends because I want all of you to know that I appreciate what you guys and gals have done for me. That's what I have done. I am aware that you are involved in this show. That's why I sent it to you as well. Let me ask you a question. Why is it that out of everyone that responded to this bulletin, you are the only one who disagrees? Could it be that out of everyone who responded, you're the only one on VH1's payroll? I understand that hip hop is now a business. I also understand that you have bills. I believe that if you were not receiving a paycheck from VH1, you would be over here with the rest of us. And you would be asking, why are they honoring Boys in the Hood and not Wild Style? 4 years it took to honor the first and best to date, as you put it, hip-hop movie of all time? Come on. There are tons of award shows that honor Missy and people like her, and I don't have a problem with that. But this is supposed to be the hip-hop honors. You, of all people, know that hip-hop represents a culture, not a music genre. She's not a hip-hop artist. She's a rapper, singer, and not a very good one at that. And while we're on the subject of Missy, let's also point out that her fame comes from 3 things. Timberland, hip-hop's old school, if you notice how she wears shell-toed sweatsuits and fat gold chains these days. And let's not forget all the old school music she uses. And number 3, BS radio. Can you admit that? And you say that you're sitting next to her as an honoree? That is nothing to brag about, my brother. No need for me to put a show together because I honor the greats on a daily basis. Share this with my friends, Freddy? You bet I will, bro. But I noticed that you didn't share with any of your friends what I sent to you. So let's see if you do that and let them judge for themselves. Peace and love, Darrell D. So that was my response, and I sent that out to everybody again. I mean, I sent it out to tons of people. And after sending that out, the only criticism that I remember receiving, and when I say criticism, I'm saying somebody who didn't agree 100% to what I was saying, was Davy D. Is it Davy D or Davy DMX? What do you call him? Not the Davy D from the Hollis crew, but the one from California, the journalist guy from California. And again, he's all on this whole ratings thing. I'm like, that's not what I'm talking about. Go talk ratings with somebody else. I'm talking about authenticity and artistry. So I put that out. I sent it to a bunch of people that I wasn't following and people who were not following me. And now I'm going to give you some of the responses that I got back from various people that I sent this post to. First one is from DJ Easy Lee. He said, Darrell, I couldn't agree with you more. I'm so disgusted myself that I can't even watch. I myself am the only old school DJ to have DJed for 3 old school pioneer groups. 1 Spoonie G, 2 Treacherous 3, and 3 Kumo D. I have releases on my own rap label, Easy Lee Records, on the Fearless, the Treacherous, Easy Lee Records, on the Fearless, Treacherous 3, and Kumo D. I'm still very active in the music industry in 2007. I started in 1978, and no one even knows who I am. My deceased buddy, DJ Scott LaRock, God bless his memory, Cares One's fame, is more of a household name than I am, and he's been gone for over 10 years. I read so-called rap rap books and periodicals, and it's like I never existed. I have to explain who I am to even get into a rap pioneer event. I just can't understand it. Thanks for posting and voicing your opinion. Next response, Donald D. Peace. Thanks for sharing this info. On my main page, read my blog, Hip Hop Honor. Stuff I've never been invited to the awards, and that's crazy. For me, what I don't like about it is if you are going to call it Hip Hop Honors, where's the legendary graffiti writers? Where's the B-boys and the B-girls? Don't call it hip hop if all the elements are not on the show. Freddy got my info and never once said, yo, Donald D, we need you present here. Damn, I've been in it since the days in the parks, doing radio, making music, producing, working in films, touring. One of the most sampled lyrics in history and still putting out music. Yo, Fab 5, where's my honor? Oh, I guess I need to be on MTV and primetime radio to get in. 1. Let's keep it going. C Knowledge, aka Doodlebug from Diggable Planets. He said, yo, Darrell D, you are that cat. I am a fan of yours from this day forth. You gave it to him. All your answers were concise and to the point. Enough respect, my brother. Hip-hop is not dead as long as there are men like you standing up for the integrity of our culture. Peace. C Knowledge, the Doodlebug. DJ Louie Lou, the DJ from who used to DJ for Tila Rock. He said, yes, I thought the same thing. It is too damn early to crown Missy as a legend. She is truly talented, but too early for the legendary crown. Peace to that, brother, but I strongly disagree about her being talented at all. Just my personal. Pep Love from the Hieroglyphics. D, you check that. Fat Fried Freddy hasn't been much more than a hip-hop Uncle Tom since Yo MTV Raps anyway. He's defending his work. I guess I can't blame him. Hip Hop Honors has bored me to sleep since that first show. I haven't watched it since. One love for representing like that, though. Holla at your boy, though, Darrell. I'm trying to get back to Arizona as soon as possible. Pep Love. Tony Tone from the Cold Crush Brothers. Fab Five is a real house Negro. I'm going to use the word Negro. He's been selling hip-hop to them for a long time. Then we go to Disco Wiz. Legendary Disco Wiz. D, you are fighting the good fight. Never feel that you are alone, brother. One love, Wiz. Drez from Black Sheep says, can you hear that, Darrell? That's the sound of me applauding you, brother. Thank you for the support of real rap music and keep up the good work. Phase 2. Peace to you, brother. Your letter to Fab Jive Freddy was shared with me. There are not too many words that you can sum up the so-called brother up with. But ditto will be one. I know the man personally, know how he slithered into the game, etc., and has been an advocate of the essence and realities and facts of hip-hop forever. Which would be a good reason why, though the brother man knows my track record and history in hip-hop, you would not see the likes of me in or behind the scenes of a VH1. Fred knows the half, but he's never gonna let the public know. And as for Wild Style and the man Charlie Ahern, who behind the scenes is full of it and is as sincere as a pedo. He and his movie get no respect from me for a number of reasons that I will not get into at the moment. I was never involved. Oh, let's see. We going? Okay. I was never involved in it, never supported it, but somehow my image and name seems to continue to pop up in connection to it. But not just for history's sake, but for the story's sake. There's a lot more to VH1 and Wild Style than meets the eye, as there is to Fred too. But I commend you for bringing it to the poser. He is just another self-serving prop, as are the prima donna Lady Pinks, and the list goes on. A lot of folks are not what they appear to be, and if they are put to the test like Fab, everyone else and all eyes will see respect. One last one I want to share with you is DMC from Run DMC. VH1 Hip Hop Honors has it all wrong. I agree. I'm not involved with the show. I just did it. Anyway, people think hip hop started with Run DMC, and even some think it started with Rapper's Delight, but there's a whole world of hip hop that no one knows about. Before rap was on records, there were the Kings and Queens, Kool Herc, Grand Wizard Theodore, Fantastic Five, Flash and the Furious Five, Cold Crush 4, Charlie Chase, Tony Tone, Africa Bambaataa, Zulu Nation, Jazzy 5 MCs, Treacherous 3, and DJ Easy Lee, Crash Crew, DJ Darrell C, Breakout, Baron, Force MCs, Dr. Rock, Shy Rock. Does anyone have a Shorn C tape? And a whole list of superstars that are way, 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 way awesome and influential than these recording artists of today. My world of everlasting hip-hop begins and will always be the days of the cassettes, which recorded the live shows. Without that, Run DMC and Jay would have never been allowed to kick the doors of popular music open. On that note, I want you to know that I am starting a network, Darrell's Music Channel, DMC TV, that will be hip-hop culture, heaven and haven. I'm going to put BET, MTV, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, and all the others to rest. Hip-hop is a way of life, more powerful than religion and politics combined. Also, I will be forming the true and chronologically correct Hip-Hop Hall of Fame, just like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Cold Crush vs. Fantastic Five is a tape that stays in my box. Thanks for the concern. So in addition to all those responses from all of these legends, I also received a phone call from Kango Kid from UTFO, rest in peace. And I just remember he messaged me and he said, send me your phone number. He's like, I'm just getting ready to get on this plane. As soon as I land, we gonna chop it up, which was cool. And then also Biz Markie also contacted me, and he just wrote, send me your number. So I sent him my number, and maybe an hour later, he called me up. We ended up talking for like 3 hours about everything. But he was saying, you know what? I'm glad that you said what you said. He said, if I said that, then I would just be labeled as the angry rapper. So I'm so glad that you expressed yourself the way you did, and so on and so forth. We talked about that for just a little while, and then we got to talking about toys and records and just, he's a collector, I'm a collector, and he was just trying to find out what I had, that maybe I wanted to sell or trade or this, that, and the other thing. And I told him about how I had his biz clock, and I'm getting off the topic. Anyway, so we talked for like a good 3 hours. So this is the support that I got as far as that was concerned. So, yeah, somebody, the homeboy, KUT, hit me up, and he was like, he's like, Fab Five Freddy, was coming out with a book or something, and he's pre-orders or something like that, and I was like, oh yeah, whatever, forget Freddy. No hate or anything, but and then I thought about this blog that I had written. Now this all went down, like I said, in 2007. I didn't blog on it until, wow, maybe 2015, something like that, 15, 16, somewhere in there. And I thought to myself, I need this on video, because not everybody, people aren't really following blogs like that anymore. And I really wanted to share, this with everybody. And I think it's an interesting story, no matter which side of the fence you stand on, I think it's interesting. So please feel free to leave a comment and express your feelings however you choose to. And yeah, I'll be looking forward to hearing what people have to say. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out. This is Darrell D. Peace and love to everybody. Freddy, all of the legends. Not Missy. Peace and love.